Let's first take a look at what David sir is going to show in this class. Optic nerve, intraocular muscle, sclera, aqueous humor, vitreous humor, lens. Wow! Look at the inverted image of David sir in the lens. How is it possible? Retina, cornea, iris, pupil and muscles in the iris, ciliary muscles. David sir shown eyes as blindfolded. So watch the full video. Please subscribe the channel. David sir promised to show the dissection of the eye. He brings a goat eye from a nearest mutton shop. Did you see a white stem-like structure at back of the eye? That is optic nerve. Optic nerve changes what we see through the eye into nerve impulse and send it to the brain. Eye has 7 extraocular muscles. These muscles surrounds the eye in all sides. Can you guess what is the duty of these pink-colored muscles? We can rotate our eyes in all directions, isn't it? These extraocular muscles are responsible for the movement of our eyes. This is cornea, the transparent front part of the eye that covers the iris, pupil and the anterior chamber. Sclera or white of the eye is the opaque, fibrous, protective outer layer of the eye. Sclera. Actually, the cornea is an extension of sclera. Generally, in human eye, sclera is in pure white color. Here, it is a goat eye. The sclera of the goat eye is not completely white. David sir make a hole on sclera to separate the eye into 2 parts. Two types of fluids are coming out from the eyeball. One of them is like liquid and other is gummy. Now the eye is separated into 2 parts, anterior and posterior parts. The gummy substance is attached to the anterior part of the eye. Observe it. The posterior part of eye looking empty. Now we have to observe the parts in the anterior part of the eye. The clear jelly we saw in the eyeball is vitreous fluid. The vitreous body is the clear gel that fills the space between the lens and the retina of the eyeball. And the water-like liquid is aqueous humor. The crystalline lens in the eye lies between these two liquids. Lens present in the anterior portion of the eye. Generally, we saw the lens made up with glass, but the lens in our eye is not made with glass. But the lens has an ellipsoid, biconvex shape. When put this lens in water, it doesn't appear because it was a transparent body. This lens helps to reflect light to be focused on the retina. By changing shape, it functions to change the focal length of the eye so that it can focus on objects at various distances. Do you know, the lens present in the camera cannot change its shape like this. The lens is suspended in place by the suspensory ligament of the lens, a ring of fibrous tissues that attaches to the lens at its equator. Ciliary muscles are the responsible for the change of lens shape. Observe the biconcave lens in the middle. The image of David Sir is inverted and maximized in the lens. It is a property of lens. So it is the witness that our eye has a lens. This image is focused on the retina. It is made of liquid and it can change its shape to facilitate the accommodation in the eye. It is one of the reasons why the eye is greatly technical device than any advanced camera. Let us check what was present in front of the lens. Look at the cornea. The cornea is the transparent front part of the eye that covers the pupil, iris, and anterior portion of the eye. We can see black part in the inner side of the cornea. That black layer have an aperture in the center. This layer is a thin annular structure in the eye. That is iris. Iris is responsible for controlling the diameter and size of the pupil. Thus, the amount of the light reaching the retina. Look at this. This is iris with pupil and this is cornea side by side. These are ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles is a ring of smooth muscles in the eye's middle layer that controls accommodation for viewing objects at varying distances and regulates the flow of aqueous humor. This is the front view of iris. And the central aperture is pupil. Yes, this is the pupil. Iris is a thin muscular layer It controls the diameter and size of the pupil. Iris have two types of muscles. Splendoral muscles, which controls the pupil in a circular motion, and a set of dilateral muscles, which pull the iris radially to enlarge the pupil, pulling it in folds. Iris is working like curtain in our house windows and doors. In optical terms, the pupil is the eye's aperture, while the iris is the diaphragm. Just like the diaphragm in camera. The eye color is defined by that of the iris. Iris recognition is an automated method of biometric identification and what is the black color appeared in the liquid we saw while cutting the eye? Those are cells present in the retina. The primary light sensing cells in the retina are the photoreceptor cells, which are two types, rods and cones. Rods can function in lower light better than the other type of visual photoreceptors. However, rods have little role in color vision, which is the main reason why colors are much less apparent in dim light. Cone cells are responsible for the color vision. Eyes are arranged very near to the brain to send messages quickly. Optical chiasma is the part of the brain where the optic nerves cross. Look at it. That is the chiasma. It is located at the bottom of the brain, immediately inferior to the hypothalamus. Optical chiasma allows the visual cortex to receive some hemispheric visual field from both eyes. So students, for the most important organs, the sense are our eyes. We perceive up to 80% of our impressions by means of our sight only. So proper care should be needed for our eyes. Eyes are the great gifts from the nature or God for you. Thank you, David sir, to give this great class to us.